Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Rodney, and I'm back, and I wanted to go ahead and talk about love and marriage, Huntsville. Girl. Oh, God. This episode was a mess. I have a lot to say. When I don't have a lot to say, okay? So, all right, Marceau and Melody are still going back and forth. And, you know, this is the problem with Marceau. And I want to say this also. One of my favorite things to say is multiple things can exist at the same time. Okay? Marceau has made comments on the show where Marceau actually has been right. Sometimes, you don't want to say it. He right. He right. Right. It's hard to say, right? But Marcel do be right sometimes, all right? And Marcel be wrong a lot of times, also. This is the issue with Marceau. I really, really think that Marceau really thinks that he is one of, if not the smartest person in the room. But the gag is, Marceau, no tea, no shade. If y'all see this, he's really not that smart. Marceau is he's one of those people that they just like to hear themselves talk and they just talk in circles, right? A lot of the stuff that Marceau says, girl, it don't be making sense. Marceau has this idea in his head where if he doesn't value the business, then therefore that must mean that nobody else values the business. So there's no point in you coming to speak at the expo, right? So he thinks also that because the t-shirts that he sells, it's just trinkets to him, right? It's just some money, it's just some play money. I ain't really making no real money off those t-shirts, right? So because I'm not making no money off my t-shirts, that one must mean other folks must not be making any money off their t-shirts, right? Or two, other people who may be doing the same thing, they don't take this as seriously as what I know I don't take it as, right? You see what I'm saying? Marcel, just because you're not making no money off those t-shirts, or just because you're making just a couple of dollars to probably pay the light bill, pay a car note, throw some groceries in the refrigerator, that does not mean that other people who may be in the same business as you and Melody are just making a few dollars. I'm sure Melody probably making a couple of dollars because those millimeter stands, honey, they go up for Melody. Do you hear me? And just because you don't value something does not mean that it's not valuable, right? That just because you don't have a high opinion about something doesn't mean that it's not, that other people can't relate to it. I'm not a social media person. I'm trying to get into social media, right? Like I never was into Twitter, girl, but it took an 18-year-old boy, okay, to tell me at work one time, you're gonna have to get with the times, basically. Good, like he was like, you need to do a TikTok. So once he found out I had a YouTube page, he was like, you actually have good numbers, blah 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 blah. And so he was like, you need to start a TikTok. And I was like, I don't do TikTok. He was like, you need to start TikTok. I can't get into the TikTok. And he was like, you need to start getting on Twitter. And I was like, I don't really like Twitter. But the thing is, the times that we live in, social media makes the world go round. So either you're gonna get in or get left. So I had to get to the point where I became more active on Instagram. I started to, now I actually love Twitter, right? I had to become more active on Twitter. So the point that I'm trying to make is just because you don't see value in something, just because you don't really relate to something or you're not a part of that crowd does not mean that other people don't find value in it. It does not mean that it's not successful. Marceau sounds crazy. We're gonna get into some more stuff that Marcel said too. Melody is basically getting Marceau together. You just filed bankruptcy. He was basically saying that Melody filed bankruptcy. Marceau is a liar. Marceau is never going to get me to believe that as long as him and Melody have known each other, that he didn't know what she did professionally, or he didn't know that she did anything outside of selling t-shirts. The simple fact that he can sit his black ass right there on our TV screen and tell a lie with a straight face. So Marceau really wants me to believe that he only thought that Melody sold t-shirts, or she was just throwing her name on something to find out what stuck. So Melody says you filed bankruptcy because your finances just wasn't right. I filed because my ex-husband wasn't gonna leave all that on me. I said, girl, get her, Mel. Okay. Melody told Marceau, I could have said I don't want to speak on a panel with someone who has a $5 million fraud lawsuit, but you ain't heard me say it. When I tell you, I was over here cracking up. When I tell you, Melody had her foot on Marceau's neck, and when she was not gonna release, one time she had that whole size 9 Christian Louboutin foot on his neck. You know them Christian Louboutins so case. But them shoes, from what I understand, girl, I ain't never walked in them, girl. But from what the girls say, them shoes hurt. Okay, so she had that heel pressed all on Marceau's neck. Do you hear me? Um, Marceau thinks people in the audience only want to hear certain people. Marceau wants, again, if Marceau doesn't find value in it, then you don't need to come and speak. Which I think is crazy. Which I think is absolutely crazy. Let's move on. Tiffany and Lou. Tiffany and Big Lou. So Tiffany is going through postpartum depression. And Tiffany, like a lot of people, had the fairy tale that she wanted to live. Tiffany thought that her and her husband were going to have a baby and they were going to live happily ever after. And now Tiffany is over there going through it. And now Big Lou is on the road. Now, I do find it a little strange. Maybe I missed an episode, but every time I looked up, Big Lou was down to the baseball place, right? Don't he own like a little baseball place somewhere in Huntsville? Every time I looked up, he was down there, girl, swinging baseball bats with either some of the kids or either girl Marceau. So I find it strange how all of a sudden you done had this baby, now your black ass is on the road. So maybe he been on the road and they just didn't say it. Okay. Tiffany thought that she was gonna have the baby and it was gonna be what it was gonna be, and now Miss Thing is going through it. I feel bad for Tiffany. This is a thing. Again, multiple things can exist at the same time. Tiffany, you wanted that baby. And Lewis, whatever his name is, he ain't want no baby. He told you. And then you convinced him to have a baby, and now he done up and disappeared. On the other side of that, Lou, with your big ass, 7'7", 370 pounds, Tiffany didn't tie you down and hop on your dick and girl do a full split without your permission. You knew what the tea was. You knew Tiffany was about to go down there and take whatever that birth control thing is out of her body. What is this called? I was about to call it a DUI. You know I love calling it a DUI. A UID? Girl, is it what they call it? Girl. She went and got her birth control stuff, thingamajiggy removed. You knew what was about to happen, right? So even though Lou really didn't want any more kids, you still agreed to having more kids. And now you done had the baby, girl. You was there for a couple of weeks, and now you done up to now you was like, I gotta go. You see what I'm saying? It's both sides to it. I'm looking at Tiffany like, girl, you should have known better. And I'm looking at Lou like, nigga, you knew. If you didn't, you knew. We can't do nothing about it now because the little baby is here. Shout out to Ace Alexander. The baby is so precious. From what I got from it, Tiffany basically just wants Lou to be at the house. Basically. Now you got girl, y'all gonna girl, I'm sorry. I'm gonna go ahead and say y'all. I don't know why y'all be playing with these kids. I ain't even got no kids, and I know kids are hard. Y'all gonna stop having just these quick conversations about having kids, and then when the kids get here, everybody running around her like a chicken with their head cut off, and start being realistic about what's about to happen. I was about to say something. I'm gonna shut up. So they have the meeting, right? They're having the meeting because they just want to basically tell Tisha and Marceau what they can work on to make, if they, I guess, do it next year, what they can work on to make next year better. I feel like I need to dye my hair again. I feel like it's getting too dark. You know, the last time, girl, it actually was lighter, which I actually liked it after a while. Because it was like that red, and then I had put like a blonde, like a I forgot the color, blonde on it, and then it took it to like a strawberry blonde, which I was okay. I was like, oh, this is actually cute. So it really wasn't even supposed to be. It was supposed to be like a brown with like a hint of blonde in it. Yes, girl, I was being dramatic. Girl, I wanted to pay my homage to B. Girl, I was going to the Beyonce concert, and I wanted to pay my homage to Queen B. And so I was like, girl, I'm gonna do a little brown with a hint of blonde, girl. But it didn't go the color I wanted it to be, and it just took it like to a strawberry blonde. But now it's starting to go. Now it's starting to get back dark, and I feel like I want to put the other box on it to strip it some more. I guess make it whatever color it's gonna be. But I like it. Anyways, girl, I got ADHD, y'all. I don't know, but I think I do. So Marceau said he wanted people to speak at the Expo. Shout out to the Expo. That were relevant to the community. Marceau be acting like he done took his black ass out and had a focus group and girl discovered what people wanted to hear. You don't know what people want to do, girl. That's why you should have all different types of people there to speak. So if that person resonates with one person, two people, or 15, then girl, so be it. The determining factor of who should speak on the panel should not be what you find interest in or what you think is considered high value. Girl, because it's a lot of shit that I don't care about. I don't care about makeup. I don't care about like none of that. But girl, do you think I would not have someone that does makeup that could speak to the people that who probably want to do makeup? You see what I'm saying? Like it don't have nothing to do with what you think, and that's the problem. That's why it was a mess, girl. Anyways, so he basically says, so Martel, this is here we go. What they say, a broken clock is right twice a day. Oh. A storm. I'm sorry, y'all. This is the thing. We can say a lot of stuff about Marceau, and a lot of it is true. Okay. But, and I get that some of y'all don't like Marceau. Marceau get on my goddamn nerves. Okay. Marceau get on my nerves. Girl, Maurice get on my nerves. Martel, I don't like Martel though. I know it's because really true, all them niggas are the same, but it's something about Martel that just because this is the thing. Even though Marceau is a mess, Marceau still, I know this is gonna sound crazy. Marceau still sometimes come across as likable. Martel never really come across. The first time I ever saw Martel really come across as likable was at the reunion last year, and Martel, it looked like he was there. It looked like he was there just having a good time. But they said Martel before the reunion was in the back cutting up and acting a fool. I don't know how true that is. That's what the people say. I don't know why it's the difference between Marceau and Martel because they all really the same nigga on the show. But I could deal with Maurice and Marceau. I don't know why. Every time I see Martel, ugh. When truly, really, truly, all the niggas should get the face, right? But Stormy, this is what I'm getting to. Stormy be doing too much, y'all. I'm sorry. Stormy does too much. While Marceau is definitely unprofessional at times, Stormy, you ain't too far behind. We're supposed to be discussing business and how he handled business and what can make the Expo, girl, come on, Expo. What can make the Expo better for next year? And girl, you come in not speaking, girl, it's not that deep. Girl, it's not. It's not. I get it. It was $100. It's the principle, but girl, you doing too much. You done called this man a bitch at least 5 times already. I don't like it. Because if Marceau turn around, y'all see how Tiffany got offended when he called Stormy sweetie. But see, didn't I say that? Didn't I say this in my last review? I said Marceau is the type of person because he really doesn't have respect for women that where he says like sweetie and sweetheart. That's his way of low-key calling you a bitch without calling you a bitch. And that's what he did to Stormy. He called her sweetie. And even Maurice was like, nah, cut it out with the sweetie stuff. Tiffany called him sweetie. But girl, the truth of the matter is Stormy steady calling this man a bitch. And if Marceau was to fuck around and call Stormy a bitch back, everybody in the goddamn room, girl, especially Courtney, gonna have a fit. But this grown-ass woman keep calling this grown-ass man a bitch. So if he disrespect her back, I don't want to hear shit. I'm sorry. Stormy needs to watch her goddamn mouth. And then she's saying shit like, oh, you're so sassy. And, like, girl, let me read it. I'm going to read a tweet from somebody. This is what somebody wrote. And then we're going to wrap it up with Stormy. Shout out to Ace. Her name is Ace. In the name of petty, Stormy lost and showed her level of misogyny with those comments about Marceau being sassy, a bitch, and needs a wig. Stormy needs to realize she can't combat misogyny with misogyny. So when we sit here and have these conversations about people being misogynistic, for those comments that Stormy were making were very much dripped in misogyny. Yes, and Stormy is a woman. Okay? Stormy needs to get it together. It doesn't come across as cute. It comes across like, girl, you sit here taking these personal jabs at Marceau, and girl, you should be talking about how unprofessional he is. That's where Stormy should be headed. But she too busy trying to call Marceau a man in a wig and sassy and a bitch to even talk about, girl, we just want to talk about the professionalism, girl. And how you're all over the place. And how you don't walk in the day of, girl, asking anybody, I don't give a damn how much money it is, for booth rent. When that was never discussed before. Anyways, all right. So Marceau says something about it basically not being relevant if you were not basically saying that everything that he was trying to say that everything that Melody has now is because of the platform that has been provided to her. So because this is what Marceau was saying. So because Melody has, I'm just going to use the t-shirt business. She sells t-shirts. She's only selling those t-shirts because of this platform. She wouldn't be selling those t-shirts if she didn't have this platform, right? So because that has happened, we can't use her as a speaker because what she's doing is kind of irrelevant to the people that are there. As if, this is what Marceau has done. As if everyone who started a t-shirt business or a clothing line were on reality TV. How do you know there's not somebody in the audience that wants to start a t-shirt business or a clothing line, and they want to hear the beginning steps of how to, right? Girl, how do you know? Y'all could have had somebody that say, okay, well, girl, go to Teespring first, and then if it becomes successful, then you could probably branch out and not use Teespring and start doing your own thing, any type of thing, right? For Marceau to tell Martel, because Martel said, so basically what you're saying is before the if it wasn't started before the platform, then it's irrelevant. And then he said, not that simple, but kinda, yeah. Marceau. Oh, Marceau. So are you trying to tell us that anybody who uses a platform to start a business because they have a platform like reality TV, then they are not able, they shouldn't be able to speak at the expo because they only have that business because of the platform that they're on? You're like, that's like saying that Candy Burris should not be allowed to speak at certain functions because a lot of her functions got started, or businesses got started on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Even though Candy Burris, girl, Todd and I be having people sitting down there in the dark. Even though Candy Burris has a very successful restaurant, girl, you can't come and talk to the people at the expo because that don't count because you started that when you was on TV. Bethany Frankel, did she start that margarita vodka simply, what is it called? Skinny Girl, whatever. Martel, didn't you start Black while you were on TV? So if somebody wanted some knowledge from you about your business, you would say, well, no, I can't give that because it's irrelevant because I started that when I was on TV. But Marceau, you be saying some crazy ass shit and it do not make sense at all. Girl. You cannot discount what somebody has done because they happen to do it because they happen to be on reality TV. Because a lot of people, most people, not a lot, girl, most people, girl, are not on reality TV. But just because you are not on reality TV does not mean that you cannot be in the same business. Girl. Hello? Hello? Girl, do that make sense what I'm saying? Most, when I say most of the world, most of the United States of America is not on reality TV. Like 99.999%. It's a handful of y'all on reality TV. A handful. We can count the shows. Martel basically says that, like you shouldn't discount any business because, like he said, when I was cutting grass, this is stuff. Martel, this is the stuff that kind of make me like Martel. You don't know who could start a landscape. We don't call it cutting grass, we call it landscaping. You don't know who out there wants to get into the landscaping business, right? But because you don't find value in somebody cutting grass, then you don't want to have them, come speak at the expo. Even though Martel is sitting here telling you, what did he say? I was making $120,000 a year. Bitch, that's a lot of goddamn money for some grass. Now I'm not gonna do it because I don't like being outside pushing lawnmowers because I had enough of that. Shout out to my grandmother, girl. She made us cut grass, girl. She tricked girl, she wore us out, girls. I don't do the cutting grass, but girl, shout out to the girls who do. But Martel is basically trying to tell you, girl, I made a decent amount of money. $120,000 is a lot of money to just cut grass, right? In my opinion, it is. Um, Melody comes in and she basically says that, one thing I will say, Melody is smart. Melody is smart. She was basically saying that, they should have small group sections where people can break off and, makeup, styling, hair. Like that's what you need, some of everybody there because you don't know people's interest. The way that Marceau delivers the information as if he knows what the community wants. Marceau ain't went out and did no motherfucking focus group. I got a bug, and I had the goddamn door open. That's why I hate opening up the door because there are bugs and stuff flying here. But That he doesn't know. He's acting like he went around Huntsville and hired, some people to, see what the people want. Like, you don't know. You just going by what you think is important. Anyways, so Melody starts to say that basically it was. This is getting too long. It wasn't organized, but the behind the scenes led up to the prior. Because Tisha, she doesn't want to hear about basically the behind the scene. No, 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 no. That's important. That's why Stormy got her silly ass across the table, cutting up and acting a fool because of behind the scenes. Take away Stormy cutting up and acting a fool and calling Marcel a bitch. Stormy is absolutely right, right? So you have to talk about all of that stuff because that's what's leading up to the chaos and confusion. Tisha, girl. Um, Neil and Kimmy, whatever her name is, child. They have a conversation. I just felt like this is something that just to kick up some mess because it really wasn't that deep. Nell feels as if it's two different sides to this. Nell feels like because we are staples in the community on the north side of Huntsville, everybody knows that we've had a daycare for almost 30 years. I believe that Marcel definitely knows. Girl, Marcel be trying to act like he don't know nothing. Marcel, I don't believe it. I don't believe that shooting this show where there's only 10 to 15 of y'all, it's not a lot of y'all. And then all of a sudden Neil and Chris pop up on the show and you didn't have questions about who these people are. You see what I'm saying? Even at even at that type of level where if you didn't know who they were before the show, when you saw these people pop up on the show that you're on, you didn't say, girl, who are these people? And what do they do? Girl, it's a lie. It's a lie. Marcel knows. But basically, Kimmy just wanted to, I guess, keep Neil in the group. This is basically a messy, unnecessary conversation. Kimmy wanted to bring Neil into the group to let her know that they had a meeting so Neil wouldn't hear about it, I guess, and be upset that she wasn't included. The fact of the matter is, some of y'all corrected me last week too. What it was, I was like, it actually made sense when y'all said it in the comment section. I thought that Nell, whatever her name is, she wanted Tisha to personally reach out to invite her to the expo. Come on, expo. But no, I think she felt some type of way because I think Tisha had mentioned, I guess, and that was bothering me. I guess she wanted Tisha to. I guess Tisha was supposed to invite her to speak on the panel. That's what one of y'all said in the comment, and some of y'all agreed with the person. So I was like, okay, that actually makes sense if that is the truth. But I was like, okay. But anyways, Nell, you lying or either I misunderstood what she was saying. She said that I wasn't coming to rehash nothing. I thought it sounded like the conversation that her and Kimmy were having. They were talking about, I guess, what the conversation that took place at the baby shower. Neil, you literally said out of your own goddamn mouth, let's rehash it. Didn't she say that? Hello? Hello? All right. So, anyways, girl, basically, Kimmy just wanted her to know that they had a meeting, so she wouldn't find out. I think this was just a way to get Nell riled up. The truth of the matter is, Neil, you're that panel. Even though I think that if they really want to make this, it's for people to take it seriously, they need to branch out and just not make it about the comeback group. The comeback group is never going to happen. I want y'all to stop using the comeback group as a storyline. It's not going to happen. It didn't happen before. It's definitely not going to happen now because Melody do not fuck with Martel. The comeback group is over and done. So if you want to have another Black Expo, make sure that you have people where people can take it seriously. Have real legitimate business people on the stage. Girl. And you want to talk about somebody throwing something against the wall to make it stick. No tea, no shade. Honey, that was Martel. Martel then came out with a cookbook, a calendar, a children's book. Girl, with some wine. That's a motherfucker that's throwing something across the wall, on the wall to see what sticks. Okay? Martel meets up with Fred. Y'all heard Martel? I mean, not Martel. Yeah, Martel meets up with his business partner, Fred. Girl, did Martel got his license? I don't know, honey. He talks about Chris Pants being tight. Martel ain't bitch. Y'all thought, bitch. I thought my pants. I thought my britches be tight. Bitch, Martel be looking like his pants. But Martel be looking like he got on jeggings. Bitch, Martel be looking like he got on compression tights. Martel can't talk about nobody clothes being tight. Because Martel clothes be tight as fuck. I said, God damn. I thought my pants be tight. Girl, Martel be swishing down the street with them tight ass britches on. That's what my grandmama used to call them britches, girl. Them tight ass britches on, okay? Um, Shout out to my grandmother. Anyway, so Martel, so Chris basically stops by and they start talking about Martel being out of the house. Listen, this is on some real, like, I'm not even trying to be funny. Martel is making this situation deeper than what it is, in my opinion. Martel, just go stay at your mama house, girl, for a couple of weeks into your house. Girl, just move your shit into a storage. I'm assuming he has the money for at least a month. Just go move your shit to a storage, right? Go stay with your mama for a couple of weeks, or a week, or a couple of days. Go find you a place, girl. Move your shit into your new house, and then be done with it. That's all I can really say. I don't think it's that big of a deal. I feel like Martel. I don't know, girl. Y'all, like some of y'all were trying to explain to me, Martel. I don't know how Martel got it. I don't know, y'all. I don't even care. Martel, get out of them people's house. Um, it's a lot of stuff y'all did. Y'all see Martel, girl. I want y'all to stop referring to Melody and Martel as the Holtz. Martel did it too. It's a lot of stuff y'all didn't have until the Holtz. What did I write? Girl, I'll be writing so fast when I take my notes. I don't know what that word is. I don't know what I don't know what I wrote. It's a lot of stuff y'all didn't have until the Holtz, I guess, put y'all on. It was something like that. I can't remember. I don't know what I wrote. Girl, Martel's still calling him and Melody the host. Baby, girl, Melody threw that last name in the trash can and she don't want it no more. He says that Melody can speak. And that Melody's been giving speeches and speaking. And when I tell you, bitch, I hollered when Martel said, "Ow, bitch!" When Martel said she was speaking when your ass was working at the movie theater, you had them big ass suits on. I tell you, I said, get her. Bitch, when Martel said she was speaking when your ass was working at the movie theater and you had them big ass suits on, I said, come on! Woo-wee! Girl, they been turning Marceau ass up. I said, Martel said, I want to lick too. I hate when people use you. Now, this is what Martel, girl. I said, Martel's so slow, bless his heart. Girl, he really thought about it too. That's a gag. He said, he said, I hate when people use you and won't respect the fact that they did use you. Girl, I said, baby, no. I know what Martel was trying to say. I said, Martel, this is exactly why we know that you were never the brains, because of what the fuck you just said. Not Marcel, Martel. Martel said, I hate when people use you and won't respect the fact that they did use you. I think what Martel was trying to say, I hate when people act like you haven't done them a favor, right? And then when it's brought to their attention, they act as if nothing has happened. I think that's, in simple words, I think that's what he was trying to say, right? We have done them a favor, right? And I'm not trying to hold the favor over their head, but I hate when people act as if you haven't, helped them out, right? And then when it's brought to their attention, right, they try to play dumb and stupid, right? I hate when I help someone out, and then when it's brought to their attention, they act like I haven't helped them out. But he said it all wrong. I said, "Oh, Martel is slow." He said, "Now this is why I was like, oh, girl." He said, "We made them." This is the thing. I can't go back. I'm not going back. I can, but I'm not. From what I understand, correct me if I'm wrong. I think Marceau used to work down to the movie theater. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I just think it's funny because I used to work at the mall, so I'm not laughing at him working at the movie theater. I'm laughing at the fact that Marceau used to work at the movie theater, but he walks around here like, girl, he just been his number one man in business, right? Marceau, you worked at the movie theater. I worked at the mall. You see what I'm saying? Stop walking around here like you just been this businessman of the year. I don't know if you was a manager at the movie theater, but nonetheless, you this is all new to you, quiet as it's kept. So from what I remember, I think they pulled them in to start business together, and from there it kind of just went into another direction when Marcel wasn't working at the movie theater. Is that true? Is that what happened? But I'm not gonna sit here and say that y'all made them, right? Those are some strong words. We made them. If anything, Melody made them. We shouldn't say that either. Martel, you ain't made shit. Because we see what happened. As soon as Melody left your ass, we see, girl, you was over there, girl, struggling. Girl, not a pot to piss in or a winner to throw it out of. So we know who was doing the work. Hello? When Martel said, let me say something, bitch. Martel actually asked him, when Martel said, God don't play and I don't either, I say yes. Bitch, I'm gonna start saying that God don't play and I don't either. Fuck around and find out. You know, I'm gonna ask him. I'm not gonna add a little ignorant into it, girl. God don't play and I don't either. I said, I know that's right. Anyways, girl, that's all I got to say. This review was way too long. All right, I'll talk to y'all later. Have a good day. Bye, y'all.